check out this vintage MCM Mersman. This bad boy was found on the side of the road. It's in not the best condition. This is just a Formica or laminate top. So let's give it a new look. First of all, I have got to start with cleaning it. I'm just using an all-purpose cleaner for now. Spraying it down really good, and then I will wipe that off. I switched to a simple green cleaner. Diluted it with some water, and I'm using a scrub brush. A lot of this gross gunky residue on there that is very hard to get off. Now I'm just going to rinse off that simple green cleaner and any other remaining excess oil and dirt with some water. With a low grit sandpaper, I'm using a 60 here. I'm going to scuff up this laminate surface and get it nice and roughed up to prep it for paint. This will give my paint a good surface to adhere to. Then using my orbital sander and a higher grit sandpaper, this time I'm using a 120. I'm going to take off that old finish from the sides, except for on the insets, on the legs, and the sides and the back. On the front, I do hand sand quite a bit to remove all of that old finish on the insets and try and get off as much of that as I can. And then I'll give everything a nice good wipe down with a cloth and some water. There are a couple of things you're going to need for my technique here for doing my no mix paint wash method. A mister bottle right here, a black paint. Today I'm using Waverly in the color called Ink, and it is a chalk paint, and then a paintbrush. First of all, I'm going to mist my surface. I'm going to get it pretty wet, and then I'm going to take a very small amount of paint on my paintbrush and start brushing it on. If it looks too thick, I'm going to go ahead and mist it with my water, and then keep brushing it. Try and go in the same direction. You don't want your brush strokes going in different directions like that. You want them going in the same direction. Like so. Tiny bit more paint. Mist it. And then I'm going to keep brushing it out. If I want to do another coat, I can, but I'm quite happy with one coat application here. A little bit too thick over here in this corner, so I'm going to hit it with my mister bottle and brush it out. If it still seems too thick, you can take a rag and wipe off any excess to remove it, like so. I'm going to work on the side now. Mist it. You can see here, this is bare wood. And this I left the old finish on to show you the difference. I'm gonna wet it down. Paintbrush, very small amount of paint. And brush it on. Too much paint in there, just wipe it out. Final side, and I have not used more than what was on this cap. This is a very budget-friendly way to use paint, as you use so very little. Again, brush it on. Continue brushing, working it in. Go in the same direction, your brush strokes, as the wood grain, or at least the same direction. Once the paint wash was dry, I'm going to use this Varathane brand triple thick polyurethane to seal everything. Using blue painter's tape, I taped off all of the edges, and then with some Sticks bonding primer, I primed the top surface. It took about 3 coats to get full coverage. Again, this is a laminate top, so I wanted a great bonding primer, and I highly recommend this one right here. I had these great vintage knobs in my stash that I used on the drawers, and I added those while my primer was drying, and I waited about a day for it to cure before I added this chalked ultra matte chalk paint to the top surface. I did 2 coats of this. I'm going to be making a watered down paint mixture. I have probably about 1/4 of a cup of water in there. It's not super important to be very accurate, and I'm using a brown folk art brand home decor chalk paint in the color called Java, and I'm going to add that in like so, but I don't want it super dark. I want to tone that color down a little bit, so I'm just using this beigey colored chalk paint from Chalked Country Paint. I believe it's Vintage White is what it's called. I'm going to put some of that in there. Not a lot, just a little. That's what it's going to look like when I apply it. And I think I'm happy with that. Then I'm going to take the syringe and I'm going to fill my syringe with my watered down paint mixture. So then I'm going to take my syringe and I'm just going to kind of make squiggly lines all over randomly with my syringe. And this is a messy process, so make sure you're protecting your surface if you're worried about getting paint everywhere. All right, then I'll let that sit for a bit, probably about 5 to 10 minutes, and that lets the pigments just kind of settle in before my next step. I'm going to take a damp paper towel, and I've got a lot of these little dot spots that I really don't want the pigment to settle and dry around them, so I'm going to just kind of tap into those few that I have here. I don't want little circles all over, so I want to try and remove some of those if possible. All right, I'm going to let that sit. Okay, now that it has settled a bit, I'm going to take my blow dryer or a heat gun and a mister bottle of water and then a crumpled up piece of paper towel, and I'm going to start misting my surface, and I'm going to blow that paint around and move it. And you can see where the pigments have dried. It has formed like thin, veiny looking lines. Then I will continue to keep misting my surface. Now I'm going to move it around with my blow dryer. And then with my paper towel, I'm going to tap all over. And this is going to deposit, remove, and then redeposit the paint randomly all over on the table. I have a more dry paper towel here. I'm going to remove a little bit more. With my blow dryer and my paper towel or rag, I'm going to dry and tap at the same time. And then my final step is to seal the top, and I'm using the same sealer as I used on the base, the Varathane triple thick polyurethane. I do end up doing 3 coats of this because this will most likely be a very highly used surface, so I wanted to make sure it was sealed and protected very well. Let's remove that painter's tape and have some looks at the final reveal. Let me know what you all think down in the comments. I hope this tutorial was extremely helpful for you, and I hope you feel inspired. And if you did, be sure to subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. And if you are looking for some more creative tips and advice in general on YouTube or all things really creative, please be sure to check out my second channel that I do with a group of gals, the Flippin' Bunch. We host a weekly night podcast on Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern, Standard Time. Thanks again, all. Have a amazing day. Bye.